Hi, I'm Kay Denniston, the SCS agent in Bourbon County, and I'm excited to bring to you the first lesson of the 2022-23 Homemaker year. And yes, we're going to learn about Homemaker 101. Kind of excited that you voted this as one of the lessons that you'd like to have for this year. Hope that's because you want to be armed with the basic information when recruiting or telling others about homemakers. Plus, you want to know more about it yourself. Maybe you joined it because a friend asked you and you don't really understand the dynamics of the organization. So, a lot of the day's information is going to be history, a little bit, and a little bit about the dynamics in the organization, how it's designed, and some pointers for making your homemaker group a better group, okay, based on what you want. So let me share my slideshow with you, or my PowerPoint, and we'll talk through some slides, and I'll try to make it as quick as possible. Okay, hashtag Homemaker 101. I think you probably just saw a slideshow of a bunch of homemakers that some of them look like you, some of them didn't look like you, some of them might have been you. But I hope you saw a variety and a diverse audience of homemakers. And I think that's something we need to start thinking about. And we need to open our minds up to a variety of possibilities with homemakers. We've got so much to offer. We've got so many good people, and we just need to make sure that we're reaching all the people that are in need of our information. So this is our meeting for August 2022, and let's begin. A little bit about the history. Um, it's a nonprofit volunteer organization. We do volunteer work, but it's also volunteer in that you join it as a volunteer. It's not a requirement. It's not part of an educational or professional program. It's something that you choose to be a part of. Clubs date all the way back to the 1910s when people started organizing in different people's homes. We still do that today, right? And to meet, to join, to share information. Then the first county organization to help with the organization of the organized making it consistent across the whole county was in 1924, and then the state organization was established in 1932, so that there became some consistency with what was being done. So the clubs go back to 1910s, county organizations 24, and the state organization in 1932. So we've been around for a while. Membership right now, we've been up and down in those years. Right now, our membership in 2021 was 10,895. And how do we get funded? Strictly by dues and any special grants or scholarships that you write or apply for special projects. Now, the agents are a part of the advising and extension homemakers. And the first FCS agents, they were called home demonstration agents at that time because that's what they did. They demonstrated within the home on how to do things and research-based information. But the first ones were hired in 1914. So we've been around a while too. They got more and more throughout the state in the 20s and 30s. And today we have 125 positions, 125 FCS agents positions. Now, those of you know your Kentucky demographics, we have only 120 counties, okay? So obviously we have a few counties that have more than one agent. And their positions are funded by federal, state, local tax dollars, as well as we apply for scholarships and grants. This is a really important slide here, or I feel like it is. It talks about what is our mission. Okay, what is KEHA? KEHA stands for Kentucky Extension Homemakers Association. And what is our mission? And we're going to read through this slowly and carefully. I'll run through a lot of these slides, but I'm going to do this a little slower. We are here to improve the quality of life for families and communities. Okay, we're going to improve the quality of life for families as well as communities. And how are we going to do that? Through leadership development, volunteer service, and education. So we're going to develop as leaders, we're going to volunteer within our communities, and we're going to use educational information that has been supplied to you through the universities. I like that mission statement. This one is a quicker slide. These are just some terms that you should be familiar with, that you're using. This should sum up what your club does. What's the purpose of us? What's our mission? We're here to encourage, support, advise, communicate, promote, nurture, empower, facilitate, educate, and partner. All of those are terms that refer to what a homemaker organization does. So that should arm you with some vocabulary on that one. And I gave you this to show we're the Bluegrass Area Extension Homemakers, and we are right here. Okay, we have 10 counties. We are called the Bluegrass Area. And for some of those that are newer and don't know that, and that Bluegrass Area is made up of Harrison and Scott, Fayette, Bourbon, and Nicholas, Clark, Madison, Estill, and Powell counties. So we are kind of a large area. This is the structure. I like the fact that on this slide, the individual members are the boldest on here because we are the foundation. Each individual member is the foundation of the Extension Homemaker program. You, the member, whether you're a mailbox member or a club member. And then from that, most of our members go on to be part of clubs. Even our mailbox members associate with a lot of clubs and go when they can. And then those clubs are associated with a county, which in turn is associated with an area, and we are the Bluegrass Area, which in turn is associated with the Kentucky Extension Homemakers Association. So we, from the ground up, we are the foundation of this program, and don't ever forget that. The state board, so you know how it's made up just basically like your county boards. If you're familiar with your county boards, there's a little bit of difference in the number of officers. I'll use, because I'm a part of the Bourbon County board, I will use that as an example. We don't have 5 officers, we have 4. We do not have a second vice president based on our bylaws. We have 9 appointed chairmen. Okay, those are not elected, they are appointed in our county. That is based on each county's bylaws. You'll have to check your bylaws and see what that is. But we have our officers, we have our chairman, We have our club presidents, which we have 7, and then the ex officio members, which would be me as an advisor and any specialist that we might bring in. So this, from the core or the center out, is the basis for the county boards, as well as the area boards, as well as the state boards. There's your list of officers. You in your county, and going around the area and teaching and working with other counties. I'm not sure if any county has a second vice president, but it'd be, again, based on your bylaws. So let's look at this logo. This logo is, I like it. It was adopted in 2018. It's relatively new. It's the first new one we had in a long time. All I can tell you is decades. That's as far as I can go, being specifics. And it does still have the acronym KEHA, Kentucky Extension Homemaker, and the sunshine and around the sunshine. The thing that really makes me happy about this, number one, is it's the color it's very crisp and makes me smile. But the word homemakers in the state of Kentucky, the word home is in italics. It's almost like we've separated the word. We are home makers. We are makers of homes. Okay. A house is not necessarily a home. The people in the house are what make a home a home. So we are here to make better homes, better families, give support. And I just really, I like it. We're also here to help with leadership. We want to be good leaders within your club, obviously, in your county, but outside of Extension Homemakers, representing homemakers out in your community, being leaders within the community, volunteering when you can, take an active role with community activities and informing them about, and always let them know that you are the face of the homemakers. We're also all about volunteer service. You can volunteer to your club, your county, your area, again, your community, your extension programs. I was told by some, when I was much, much younger, long before I became an agent, I was told by some senior agents that, but I can't document this anywhere, that Extension Homemakers came about to help assist with 4-H programs. Well, we had 4-H programs going on, and who better to help them in learning the 4-H projects, okay? One agent cannot teach all those projects. So how else but to get all these group of people together to volunteer to help with those programs. So supporting other extension programs is a part of who we are. And we need to report those hours, right? We're not really good at it across the state. I'm not just talking to you, but it is very frustrating, especially for the leadership chairman, to know how much is going on in our area, in our county, in our state, but is not being reported. So I think we don't like to brag on ourselves, but it's not, let's not consider it bragging on ourselves. Let's think it's that we're educating the public on what homemakers are doing. This year's theme for was established or presented at the state meeting in May. It's "We've Got You Covered." It was based on covered bridges and talking about how the bridges are what connected people in our history, and they still connect us in today. But in our history, we might be living in a house and right close to a creek, and on the other side of that creek is all of our medical team, okay? Or they probably weren't a team then, but our doctor, and how's that doctor going to get across that river to get to us, or us to get to him or her? But the bridges do exactly what they say they do. They bridge communities, they bridge ideas and themes. So you can use this theme for yourself in your annual meetings or whatever, or you can pick your own. This is not a restriction, it's not something you have to do, but that's one that was presented for this year. Our state president is Miss Brenda Hammonds. Brenda is also a retired FCS teacher. I knew Brenda when we were teaching together. She will be serving a term from 2022 to 2025. And during that term, she has picked the her focus to be let your light shine. And let your light shine goes back to those volunteer hours. Okay. We got to let our light shine and let people see it shining. But the three terms that she is associating with her focus are confidence, guidance, and direction. She wants to increase the confidence of the extension homemaker. She wants them to be proud of their accomplishments, and she wants them to communicate openly about them. Guidance is important because we need to encourage each other. Okay. We need to guide and help and direct with our club members and encourage them to share their talents. And our direction is to grow and retain membership, which you're going to hear a lot about in the next few years. We do actually have this program going on right now. The three R's, excuse me, are the keys to membership, which is recruit, retain, and repeat. In recruiting, we're asking each member to bring on a new member. Wow, if we got over 10,000 members and every member brought on one member, we'd have over 20,000 members. But that's a goal. It's an attainable goal, but we got to work at it. We need to also, and this is the one I want to emphasize, is retain our membership, because we've got to encourage and keep engaged the members that we've got now. If we don't keep them engaged and we keep them involved and share their information and their knowledge about extension homemakers, then for every one you recruit, if you lose one, you're not getting anywhere. I'm not good in math, but I can figure that one out. Okay. So we need to encourage our members. Okay. And that might be as simple as making a compliment of something they've done and sharing that with them, or it might be asking them to share a talent at one of your club meetings. And we need to repeat, she said, to continue to grow through the year. So we've got this contest going on. So let me see if I can explain this to you. Each county that increases their membership by 3 gets to put their name into a drawing for a $100 bill. There's going to be 5 of those $100 bills given away at the end of the year. And the number of times that you can put your county's name into the drawing is in multiples of 3. For example, if Estill County increased their membership by 3, their name's going to go in there once. If they increase their membership by 6, then it's going to go in there twice, and so on in multiples of 3. So if you want your name in there multiple times, then increase your membership multiples of 3. So I think we can do this, and there's nothing make me any happier than if Bluegrass area won all 5 of those $100 bills. Yeah, I'm very competitive. And don't apologize for it. So now that we know a little bit about the history and about the foundation and how it's all organized, it's time for you guys to actually get involved in some calendar planning there in your county. Calendar planning, well, number one, planning is very important, but I think calendar planning is important because it gives you a focus throughout the year. Can you add to that calendar? Absolutely. And some of the things may get in the way, like the pandemic, that you don't get to carry out some of the things you've got on your calendar. But that calendar gives us a focus for the year and a direction to head down the road. And everybody works better with direction. And I recommend that we start at the end. In other words, we go to those end of the year program of work reports, the committee reports, and we figure out what KEHA is looking for in our reporting. Now, I know, and you know, that we do lots of things that does not fit into one of those reports. That's frustrating for me. I know it's frustrating for you too. But the other way we can look at this is let's get some of these things going also that are in the reports. So how do we know that? At the end of the year, it's too late to go back and redo it. So let's look at the report at the beginning of the year instead of the end of the year and plan to cover some of them. Pick and choose what works best, what is needed in your county or in your club in those reports. Not everything is going to be for your county, but read through them, figure out what you want to do, and then plug it into a month of your calendar. Also plug in when you're going to prepare for those activities. And don't forget, please don't forget to include fun on that calendar, because if we're doing, we get all involved in numbers, myself included, and sometimes we forget to have fun and we get pushing for that number, that number, that number. Make sure that you include some fun activities. It's just strictly for fun. It may be a trip somewhere, a day trip. I do want to include a few things on a few of the months. I'm not going to go through the whole calendar, and you'll have a copy of this program or this PowerPoint, but I want to go through a few months that are particularly important. July, I understand there's some misunderstanding about how the Extension Homemaker calendar works. July 1st is the first day of a year. Okay, so we are working on the 22-23 year right now. And it started July 1st, 2022. We're on the fiscal court year, our fiscal calendar year. Our court system works on that too, so I guess that's where I came from. But August is when we typically do our training for all of our officers and chairs. September is our membership drive. October, mark your calendars, 9 through 15. The 9th through the 15th is KHA week. Plan to do something special during that week to for your members maybe, or as well as your community, and making them aware of homemakers. December 15th is the deadline for dues to be mailed to the State Extension Homemaker Association. Doesn't matter how many times 3 you increased your membership. If you do not have it in there by December 15th, you will not be in the drawing. April's when we need to think about registering for our state meeting, getting our rooms and information, because the state meeting is in May. It's May 9th through the 11th. It's at the Crown Plaza in Louisville this year. And June 30th, our year ends. And then we get to working on those reports. And I probably should have put August 15th in there as when reports are due. No, everybody does not do a lot of work with computers. Some of you do and some of you don't. That's fine. But the important thing is that you need to stay in loop with what's going on with Extension Homemakers and what's going on at the state level and the area level and your county level. Definitely your club. I think most of you do a better job of that than the others. But anyway, if you do use the computer, our manual, the KHA manual, and a lot of updated information about KHA is on the website, kha.org. We used to have these big, thick manuals that there was only 2 in each county. Now, every member has access to it if they can go online here. Now, I'm very transparent. I'm going to tell you they're not easy. It's not an easily navigated website. So if you have trouble finding the information on there, please reach out to an agent, and we may have trouble too, but we'll find an answer. Your KHA news and notes, annual newsletters, county newsletters. Read those county newsletters. They're a lot of work. It's got a lot of information in them. But some of you get it digitally, some of you get it by paper. Don't care how you get it. It's going to be the same newsletter, and it's going to have some deadlines and information and those timelines that you agreed to at the beginning of the year in there. Most counties have a Facebook page. KHA has their own Facebook page if you want to connect with that, but just stay in the loop with what's going on. Now, the end of this is all about what Kay would like to see, and what Kay has witnessed is purpose. I feel like when we lack purpose, it's the beginning of the end. Declining in health, in mental health, physical health, everything. When we no longer feel like we have a purpose in life, that's the beginning of our decline. It's also the same in our organization. And what's a symptom of a lack of purpose? When you have no motivation. I experienced some of this when I retired from my first career as a teacher. All of a sudden, I was going through this lack of motivation and some depression, and really didn't understand why. And then it hit me, I don't have a purpose. So found me a purpose, and I'm glad I found a purpose. So feel like you're tried everything and nothing seems important. That may be a lack of purpose problem. Struggle in making decisions. Feel like it doesn't matter what you think, and what's the point? How many times have I heard that? Okay, that's when we lack purpose. So let's fix that. Let's create our purpose. And actually, we're not really creating it, we're just finding it. We are identifying it because it's there. But if you want to cure that feeling of lack of purpose, network. Personally, that's one of the things I did for me. But for our clubs, I think that's crucial. See what other counties are doing. That's one good thing about going to the state meetings and the area meetings. You get to see and hear some things that other people are doing. Sometimes you get a little jealous, but that's okay if it motivates you into trying some things. But we can't do it all. Again, I emphasize you do what your county, what the needs and wants of your county and your clubs are. You might have to think outside the box to identify this purpose. It may be your purpose may be different than it was when your particular club was created many years ago. So don't be afraid to explore a little and think a little differently. Speak up on what you want. Nobody's going to know that you don't enjoy doing a particular activity year after year unless you share that, or if there's something you're wanting to do that your club has never done. Only positive thoughts are allowed when you're identifying your purpose, and you've got to be willing to share those skills. But I have a challenge for you. I challenge every club and county in the Bluegrass area to determine their purpose as an extension homemaker. Identify what your purpose is. Now, whether you share it with me or not, I'd love to hear them, but that's not the important thing. I think the important thing is that you're getting together, talking about where are we, who are we, and what's our purpose here? What's our purpose in Bourbon County? What's our purpose in Clark County? What's our purpose in Powell County? And if you're not sure where to start, I highly recommend reading the Creed. That Creed is so long that I get frustrated at some of the meetings because we read it so slow. But if you stop and think about every line of that Creed, that was the purpose we were founded on. And we can still use many parts of that Creed as to what our purpose is. But I do want to caution you on putting words in your purpose that you think are going to make your agents happy or the state level happy. You need to identify your purpose. The only way you'll stick to it and you'll stay on task if it's truly what you want, what your purpose is. If it's what you think it should be, maybe not so. So determine your purpose, get started, and go for planning your year. And I hope this is the best, the most successful year of all of our time with Extension Homemakers. And I am not there with you to answer questions, but your agents are. And so if you have problems with those questions, we will find answers for you. But we don't know it all. We're still learning too. And things are new since the pandemic, okay? We're finding our purpose as well. And it's a busy time and a fun time. And I thank you for letting me share this program with you and look forward to hearing from you. Bye.